Hello, everyone. Welcome to January 23 Zeam call. Here we'll discuss about updates, DevNet 2 interop, and DevNet 3 spec prep. So let's start with updates for DevNet 2 interop and DevNet 2 interop stuff. So Anshul,
Hello everyone. Yeah, I was mostly initially working on implementing DevNet 2 changes like the core logic or in Zeam. I did it over the weekend. Then during the beginning of the week, like we figured out a couple of snappy issues with that. So fixed that and conducted a release in Snappy and then eventually on Snappy Frames and updated that on Zeam as well. Apart from that, I raised another PR that basically improves the uh, uh, pruning logic of network sync that I had implemented earlier. So that is up for review. Apart from that, I updated my lean multisig Python bindings and added that in lean spec so that actual aggregation can happen instead of the dummy aggregation that was happening earlier. Right now, how I have built this is that I am pushing out the binaries for like the compiled binaries of for all the different Python versions and Mac and Linux binaries that are basically utilized in lean spec, because this is supposed to be a short running thing. Eventually it should get replaced by the Python implementation of lean VM. But if this is like a long running thing, I think I'll have to get implement a CI so that these bindings get automatically generated instead of me having to manually push it. Apart from that, today we were facing some CI issues in lean spec, so worked with Unawood to fix it. It was like out of memory issue due to which the CI was uh, automatically shutting down. So since like I had earlier implemented auto threading in while running the fork choice thread, so I limited it to two because it was, I think, running into kind of like a deadlock situation where it wasn't having enough memory and uh, eventually shutting down itself. Apart from that, right now I was like reviewing PR from Mercy. I'll post it in a minute, and yeah, that's about it.
got it. Okay, let's move to Chaitanya.
Yep. So this week I just was addressing some merge conflicts and comments on fork choice. First off, visualization. So Partha had made some extensive changes to the API server. I integrated those with mine as well. So what Partha had also added was detached threads. I think that was just for getting the release early, but I made those graceful as well since my folk choice visualization had already made those changes. So I added those threads too. So I addressed some comments, some minor additions on top as well. So there is that. And on top of that, so I went back to the justification caching thing and I ran some extensive tests just to get a measure of things. And what I found out was that the metrics library that we're using, it has bug in how it uh, uh, measures and notes the histogram data. So essentially, what it does is that it flushes out the existing data on read. So I've opened an issue on the library itself. So that is not uh, how Prometheus expects things to be. So it just does a drain on read. What it uses is atomic remove. While on counters itself, the same library uses atomic load, so which retains the previous data. So which is why I believe my previous findings that I shared on caching could also be wrong as well. I ran a lot of tests. This time around, I found better results, but again, I don't think these can be considered final as the library itself has a bug. I have made my own local fork and uh, made the changes, and I am testing out the caching with that. So I'm just trying to see how much there is betterment on caching in block processing, and if it adds any help, because the last runs didn't were actually counterproductive. So building the justification map was easier, but again the matrix could be flawed. So I think it might be something that we need to have a look at overall, since we do use that library extensively, and it will just continue as we the code base grows. Apart from it, I just pushed out the marked the PR that was draft for the updated SSG signatures with the hasher agnostic functional call. So I added the wrapper as discussed in last week's call, and we could just just change the hasher in that one place in the code base, and we could add Poseidon as well. So Partha has also left some comments on my Poseidon integration. I'm yet to address those since I got a little busy with the metrics library thing, because it required to look into the library code itself. But I'll address those today right after the call.
But as far as I remember, your API change PR for SSZ that was still under draft, or is it ready now?
Yes, I just marked it ready for review.
Okay, and once we merge that, then for Poseidon, we basically want a build time flag to switch out SSZ with Poseidon so that we can also merge that code in.
Okay, we wanted build time. So I could just add that instead of, so what I have right now is the wrapper function, right? That just puts in the SSZ call and adds in the SHA hasher. What I could will just do is add a build time check, and it will only compile the function that we need and use the hasher. So it shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Okay, so should I further wait on your SSZ API update PR, or
No, that was merged by GM last week, if I remember correctly. So this
no, for
one
the
is
SSZ API changes on Zeam?
uh, sorry, come again.
So SSZ API updates on Zeam.
That is ready. I've run the test locally as well. So the CI is running right now, and that is ready for review now.
But for build time, switching out
Okay.
of the hasher, should I wait for that, or should you? Okay, we can do it in the
I
Poseidon
think, yep,
PR.
it can be done in follow-up, since there are some comments Partha has left on the Poseidon hash zig as well. So I'll address those and do that in the follow-up.
Can we wrap up this Poseidon work? I mean, because it is dragging on for a while, and I just want to finish it with it.
Sure, sure. I'll do that. Get to it right after the call and in the evening. I believe the comments are not major. It was majorly just testing and some cleanup work. So I think we can get it done today itself.
All right, so let's get it done.
Sure.
Okay, let's move to Mercy.
Hello, good afternoon. Last week I worked on some few minor periods on restructuring adding a meaningful debug to Zeam, which I received a feedback to add a format functions for the structures. Also, I'm working on the aggregated attestation metrics. I also had to update hashing CLI to use the latest commit from LinkSync, and also had to do the follow-up update on link quick start. That was it. Thank you.
Got it. And what are you working on now?
I'm running it. I'm working on a metrics PR, so I'm waiting for the tests to finish running on my own local, then I can push.
Understood. Yeah, Chaitanya.
Yeah, just one thing, if anybody who wants to review the fourth choice visualization PR, if we can get that merge first, because the merge conflicts in that one are a little bit hard to handle since we get a lot of so if we can prioritize that, if there are issues, I'll be quick to address those. But I'd prefer that if we get that one first, because it is taking a bit of bandwidth, just maintaining that.
So is it ready after my last review?
Yes, after yesterday's review, it is ready now.
All right, cool. Let's prioritize to merge it first. Okay, let's move to Kai.
Hi. Last week, first, I refactored the justification compression code, follow the suggestion by Gajendra. We avoid to put zero hash to that. Both in Spike, Lean Spike and the Zeam implementation. Yeah. After that, so I rebased my previous Spike test PR and right now updated and submit today. So I saw some comments from Gajendra, so I already fixed that. So next, I'm going to look in the DevNet 3 Spike PR and so and maybe try to do some implementation in Zeam.
So if you understand what we want to do in DevNet 3 and without waiting for spec PR to be ready, can we start implementing it?
Yes, basically I think I understand most of the parts, but so I saw in yesterday's discussion, maybe the Spike PR will split several PRs. So I'm not sure which part should we start.
I mean, we shouldn't worry about how the spec PR will be split because it is all part of DevNet 3. So why not just implement it? I mean, I don't think that splitting it makes any sense. It might make sense for the spec guys, but it doesn't make sense for us.
Okay. No, I can start.
Because I believe that it's not required even to be split on the spec, but that is if they what they want to do, and it's easy for them to handle that is fine. But I guess we can just make changes on our single PR that we can also run and try it out and also get some feedback if we want to give it to the spec.
Okay.
So can we target for the next week to implement the spec PR?
Not sure, but maybe try it.
That is what I ask, and We should be able to. I mean, it doesn't seem really different. We don't need to depend upon any external dependencies or libraries that is out there. So it
Mm.
should just be an internal code change. And if you need me to to resolve any confusion and doubts that you have, we can have a call.
Okay.
All right. So on Monday, let me know if you have any doubts. Otherwise, I'm assuming that next week, next Friday, we'll have an implementation. Not
Okay.
much, but on a branch, on a PR, which we can try it out.
Okay.
All right. Cool. Okay, let's move to Partha. Partha, can you unmute if you're speaking?
Sorry, on different tabs. I had to find the correct one. Yeah, last week I started work on the Lean Ethereum's version of checkpoints. I have a working version called Lean Point right now. I'm testing it against a local devnet, but we should soon start to, start testing it on devnet 2. Katya started a version of devnet 2 yesterday, but I ran into some port related issues, but that's now been sorted. Barnabas removed the firewall completely, so I'm managing the firewalls on individual machines, and we'll start to test that right now. And the next task for me is to probably leverage the existing UI and try to build something similar for the Lean Point tool as well. Apart from that, reviewed a couple of PRs on Lean Quick Start, and that's been me for the last week.
Understood. Thanks, Partha. Let's move to Nupur.
So, other than creating a few releases, I just actually worked on changing the release process because the earlier release process was creating tags on release branch, and so I changed that process and then created the document for it. And currently, I'm working on the reviews that you gave.
So one thing that I wanted to add was once we have release documentation updated in our releases section on the GitHub, is there a way to also get the diff or basically get the list of the PRs that
Yes.
went in its previous?
Yes, we can do that. Like from DevNet 1 or like from the previous version release. So we have two tags. So one is like 0.2.1 and 0.2.2 that ways, and then we have DevNet 1 and DevNet 2. So which what all PRs do you want listed in that in the release?
So can we do both of them in the sense that can we also push a diff from the last version that we pushed and from the previous DevNet version? So basically DevNet to DevNet diff as
Sure. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do that.
if we can do that, then I think it's fine. Or if we can generate compare links, that is also fine.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, compare links you can generate manually yourself, but if we can basically in the release itself publish them and generate them automatically, I think that will
Okay.
also serve as a diff, PR diff.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Anshu says we should be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what GitHub gives that option, so we can do that.
Awesome. Okay, so hey Rahul, welcome back.
Hey Gajinder, hope you're doing well. I joined back and I'm starting to contribute to Zeam. Like I commented around some issues and yeah, I'm back.
All right, sounds good. Okay, let's move to Katya, who I kept last because we want to know what's going on in DevNet to interop. Katya, floor is yours.
Yeah, hello. So the scenes are not good for now. So I'm waiting for updates like from Zeam because yeah, as I shared previously, so we checked with Parsa yesterday, like last night, and it was failing to start. So I think Anshal made these updates. So I'm not sure if the new image has been published already or not yet. The fresh
It ha-
one
It
today.
has. It has been.
Okay. Okay. So, and I have like 10 minutes ago, I have a new image from Clean. So after the call, I can restart the DevNet and we'll see. So now it's not a success yet. So I hopefully restart it and we'll see how it goes. I was mostly involved into setup for Grafana and Loki, so everyone now has access, so the teams can check how is it going there and check the logs and check like interop logs from other clients as well. So I hope it will be helpful for investigations, and I'm going to improve it further, whatever needs we have, like to update dashboards. I still didn't add new metrics from DevNet 2 there, so I'm going to do this today. Regarding the metrics and API port, I wonder why was this decision made so to join these two ports into one? Because technically from the DevOps side, they are always different ports. So API is a separate field and metrics are the separate field, and it's a bit tricky to set up everything. And I always need to remember that when, for example, changing something on the metrics side, I need to keep in mind that there is API also on this port, and which is not like ordinal theme. So normally they are separate. So what was it the specific reason why we need to join these ports, or?
Yeah, the reason was that we are running on the same HTTP server, so it made sense to just have the name change. I mean, earlier, even if you were using metrics port as a name, everything was anyway getting opened. So everything was anyway available on that particular endpoint.
Are we going to split these two entities, like a separate port for APIs and separate port for metrics, or
I mean,
we can?
if there is a reason for that, I mean, if there is basically a real reason for that, in the sense that if there is a technical reason for doing that, we can do that, or we can split later on. I mean, we can think about it.
Yeah, because I also, like, I discussed with Barnabas, like, is it a good thing or bad? He said, like, definitely bad. So these are two different entities. And I know that in production, for example, the users may not want to have metrics and they don't use metrics flag and port, but they want to have API. So this is like two different entities. So my suggestion is just to have both ports for API for. This is how it works for ELCL. So maybe in future we can just have both these flags. I don't know. We can discuss in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that way it makes sense. When you have users, you have to worry about this, then definitely it makes sense. And I guess, I mean, I don't just want to create this body of work as of now, but if we need it, then we can do that at later stage.
Okay, then we will coordinate with Partha on this. Is like if it's really tricky to have both on one port, so maybe we will just update it and have like two flags and
We
separate
can
ports.
we can spin two HTTP servers, I guess. Chetan, if you can update that after your Foxo SPR, let's separate out the metric HTTP server.
Right. It will do. It'll just be that we have a slightly higher footprint, which I think won't be much. But do we need that right now is my question, since given the last line of work that we have done, the coupling is there. So between what our API server is doing right now and the metrics.
Was
I
it
mean,
connected to your PR chutney to fork choice and visualization? Is it connected to this topic, or why we joined it?
It is because the fork choice are served on the same API server that is giving the functional endpoints as well as the metrics, and the fork choice visualization is just a JSON based metric that we're giving.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
so
basically,
probably.
we use the same server. I think maybe Chetan, after you are done, we can, after your current work is done, we can separate out the servers.
Okay, will do.
Okay, so other updates, I just I merged the DevNet1 retrospective into the link quick start, and clean data was merged, and I also updated the config file, but couldn't spend much time on it because of the DevNet. But currently I use validator config files for the client's images. I tested it with Ansible and it works, and I would like to test it locally as well. Yeah, I put a suggestion in this PR, so it's still in draft. Like, do we want to merge these two files, like validator config, just not to have two separate files? So for me, it seems possible, and maybe it will be easier to have just one file.
I think let's keep it separate for now. Also, are we able to achieve interop with any other client? That is my primary question.
Yeah, with this file, yes. So it just, I know, like replaces the Docker image name. So that's
No,
simple.
my question is different.
Oh,
On
you
DevNet,
mean
are we-
DevNet. Mhm.
No, I mean, as we had failures on Zeam yesterday, it was crashing, so we couldn't test. But so
Yeah, we
Zeam
need to
couldn't
restart.
interop with any other client.
So as per Kaden, after we have updated the library, did we update the library, Anshul?
Yep, we did. So we just released a new release. I think they didn't get enough time to test it out again.
So can we on this priority make sure that we interop with at least one other client?
Yeah, I'll try it out locally as well.
Yeah, I think other people pointing us the bugs, that is not a good look. Let's take an active approach and not a passive one where other tell us that it's not working. Let's make sure that we can interop with one other client.
So I will restart the DevNet after the call, right? So and we will check the new, because anyway it doesn't have finality, so we need to restart it anyway, and we have updates from Clean, so and we'll see how it goes.
Yep, sounds good to me. So the priority right now is DevNet to interop.
Okay, that's it from my side.
One other thing, Nupur, I wanted to say was in the release process. So when the release is done by the release PR, can we also push a notification on the Zeam community channel so that people are aware that, okay, release Docker images have been released and the release process is complete?
Okay. And yeah, regarding the release, so I updated the auto release file also to have commits and branch name. So I currently display them on the dashboard. So from all the clients which already have this, if maybe we could release like the next image from my branch just to test it how it works. So it's quite simple, but just to be sure, or I don't know, or merged it. It's ready for review.
What exactly is ready for review?
The Docker image labels. So we add commit
Oh,
and branch name. This one I can share
I
the link.
wanted Guillaume's feedback on that, and I gave him an okay. Will Chaitanya, can you also look into that PR and see everything is all good?
I did check that already. It seemed fine based on what OCI recommends, but I'll give it another look and a formal review today.
Got it.
Yeah, I a little bit updated it, so please do this. Thank you.
I'm going to. I was actually reviewing it just now. Sorry for the delay. Looks good overall. I was just wondering if we should also put it in the build.zig so that we also get the same revision. Yeah, okay. But I'll finish my review very shortly.
Awesome. And Guillaume, you want to give some update?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, a very short one. I still haven't really made some had the time to make much progress on the proving. Although I did start, but I completed nothing, so I need to sit down and finish this. I was reviewing some PRs. I reviewed Chitani's PR. It's merged, by the way. And I was also reviewing the PR. There's been an interrupt in Berlin. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Not an interrupt, but a research meeting. And they built a roadmap which they asked not to publish. So I will not share it here. But the TLDR is that a lot of lean topics are being considered. So that's great news. Like the work we do should eventually show up on mainnet Ethereum. The way this happens is still an open question, but looks like especially the signatures are scheduled, and well, the work we do with proving will also end up there probably, maybe. Let's see. So yeah, that's the biggest update I've got. Not much code, but yeah, I haven't forgotten. I just need to be able to sit and complete this work.
Awesome. And my update has been that I have reviewed the PRs for DevNet 2, both for spec and Zeam, and as well as DevNet 3 spec PR, and in general, any other PRs that are out there that needs review. Cool. That brings us to the end of this call. Yes, Mercy.
Sorry, I wanted to ask if Katya can update issue number 87 on the available Docker tags for each client, because I can't find it. It's sort of scattered. Because I want to create a DevNet 2 branch so that when clients feel like running Linkwick starts with the DevNet 2 Docker image, it will be easier. Because right now what we have in Linkwick start is DevNet 1 Docker images.
Is it readiness or which issue?
Yeah, readiness, this one.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So for DevNet 1, did we already label it as lean quick start? Did we already label some commit as DevNet 1 as the last commit of DevNet 1?
There is a branch called DevNet 1. So we have a branch,
So,
DevNet 1.
So can we actually have a release on it as DevNet 1, Nupur?
Okay, I'll try, but okay, I'll do that.
All right. I'm not sure whether, I think we already merged some DevNet 2 PRs, right?
Yes.
So can you release a previous commit?
I'll have to figure out in the release process, or otherwise I will have to do it manually.
So even if you do it, I think do it manually, but for the next DevNet, do a release process.
Yeah, but going further, it will be taken care since we changed the release process. So that's why we cannot go back and do that. But going further, it will be done like that through the release process. Okay.
Sounds good. Any other topics we want to discuss right now? Yes, Chaitanya.
Yep. So on the fourth choice PR itself, Parth also left a comment, and you also asked to remind to discuss what Katya suggested earlier to how do we get to know what node is which client. So uh, we can discuss that right now.
So when you say which node is which client, this is for peer ID to node mapping?
Yes.
But,
Yes.
but so we have a name registry for peer ID to node mapping. That is not sufficient.
Yep, I just saw that it's in the network package, right? That is what I was going to propose as well. So, but that also depends on us having a view using the. Oh, it works for how we are doing DevNets right now. But how what Partha suggested, if I mean again, I'm not very sure how much overhead that adds on a request response, but that seems to be more I'd say future proof. But again, happy to have suggestions here. It's just that something I found out recently in the registry.
I mean, my idea was not necessarily a new request response, but part of Handshake, if they can also report the version or whatever client ID they are, we could use that.
So I think in status calls you can do that. I'm not sure. I mean, we want to do this as of now. Maybe we can propose it, but we can definitely use our node registry for now, Chaitanya.
Yep. So what I'll do, I'll add that as a follow-up to this fourth choice. Once this is merged, I'll raise that right away.
And one thing I did not understand was we were not able to get proper peer ID in Gossip, I think. Right, Mercy?
Yeah.
So to get a peer ID in Gossip, you need to run libp2p in some signed way. I think so, right? In some validation on mode.
Yes.
So can we propose this to other teams as well, so that if everyone is running it, then only we'll be able to have it? Because because when we enabled it only at Zeam, we were not able to communicate with other clients. We were not able to connect with other clients. So we have to also remove this particular flag or feature that we enabled in libp2p for Gossip peer identification. But if I remember in Lodestar code, I don't remember. If I remember there, I think Gossip gave peer ID. I don't know. I don't remember it. I'm just thinking. I'm just feeling that I saw it over there. So can somebody, Kai, can you verify that? Can we get peer ID in Gossip even in the anonymous mode? I guess Kai is not there. So Chaitanya, if when you get time, can you verify it?
Sure,
All right.
sure.
Cool. Any other topics for discussion? All right then. So as closing remarks, we need to get the DevNet 2 interop working. We need to improve our release process a bit so that there are notifications. We should get started on DevNet 3 implementation, even if spec PR is not up yet. So I think we should keep the momentum on, and good work, guys. See you next week, January 30th.
Bye bye.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.